Yes. All right, guys, we're live. Here we are for our fantasy football matchup preview. Sorry, just have to get Jason's team off of the counter there and out of view. If you didn't see, it was a trash can. Now, we have a first matchup of the week. One Pride Mountain versus Hurts So Good. It sounds like a gay pride dominatrix matchup. Don't know what we got going on here. Super weird vibes in this matchup. But I take a close look at this, and I think Jalen Hurts has a breakout week against Washington. DK Metcalf, I don't know, man. DK's not exploding like he has in the past. Chris Godwin, borderline not usable. Devontae Adams is a beast, guys. We got to stop sleeping on this guy. He's an animal. But of course, Joe's running back situation, absolutely putrid. This is what happens when you reach on a 34-year-old tight end, fourth overall. His running back situation, bar none, the worst in the entire league. Now, I flip it over to Brad's side of things, and he somehow convinced Reese to trade for Kyle Pitts. I don't know what that was about, but that's okay. Jerry Jeudy in a prime get-right spot against my Chicago Bears. The Bears suck. It's time to admit it, guys. I'm on board with you guys. Bears, not good. Okay. Christian McCaffrey smash spot against the Cardinals. As Kittle ought to do okay. Kittle's kind of really taking a back seat in this offense at this point. He's going to be very boom or bust. No way in hell am I rolling out A-Chain at Buffalo over Saquon Barkley against Seattle. I know A-Chain just had a huge week. You got to remember, 2 of those long touchdown runs came when, quite frankly, the Broncos were not interested in playing anymore. So don't love A-Chain at Buffalo. I think he's going to break a lot of hearts across fantasy this week. So who's going to win this matchup? Well, bold prediction, I'm going to say that Devon A-Chain and Kyron Williams combine for less than 10 fantasy points. They're both not in good spots, and A-Chain's very good at football, at least. Kyron Williams just bad at football. So who's going to win? I'm going to say that Brad not having a playable quarterback, going with Geno Smith, is not doing him any favors. Jalen Hurts, just too much of an advantage to overcome. And Joe continues the theme of teams not scoring very much on him, gets the dub this week against Brad. Now, Infinity and Bijan versus Commander and Chiefs. We got the grudge match. Reese versus Trey. Oh, my Lord. Who's going to win this one? I can't believe there hasn't been a bet made yet. You guys, come on, let's get on this. Let's see what we got going on here. Now, I'd be pretty surprised if Reese rolls out Trevor Lawrence. The way Trevor Lawrence looks, not good. I mean, he's better than Joe Burrow, but who isn't? Kirk Cousins has been awesome, gets a great matchup with Carolina. I love that for Trey. Not really much else to love for Trey. Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, Kenneth Walker. That's pretty much the end of the line for Trey. Trey, dude, you can't roll out the Bills defense. I know they just had a great week, but they're about to face a team that just scored 70 points. I'm sorry. You can't play them. They're going to get dog walked. Now, on Reese's side of things, love the Cleveland defense. They're going to take a Cleveland steamer on Lamar Jackson this weekend. I find it shocking that you're already giving up on Goddard. For what? To throw in Kyle Pitts? Kyle Pitts has 9 fantasy points on the season, which interestingly enough is 3 more than Dallas Goedert. So maybe you're on to something. I don't know. Bijan Robinson sucks. Downright droppable. You should just trade him to me. You're welcome. I'll help you out. Now, bold prediction in this matchup. I am going to say we see some London magic and Kyle Pitts who has only ever scored a touchdown in the NFL in London, scores another touchdown in London en route to his best game of the season and leading Reese to the victory over Trey. Sorry, Trey. You had a huge week last week. It was an anomaly. It's not going to happen again. Now, Max Fab versus you getting Mahomes schooled. So Steve versus Senior in what would appear to be a mind game fest here, as Senior has benched all of his players. And you know what my main takeaway of this is? With Mahomes, Watson, and the Kansas City D, it's not a 0% chance. It's a 3% chance. So that really speaks to just how weak Steve's team actually is. Mahomes, Watson, Kansas City, they have a puncher's chance, just the three of them, of knocking Steve out and beating him. Brock Purdy is, he's a layup. There's not a whole lot of upside to him, not a whole lot of downside. When you're facing Pat Mahomes, I'd probably take a bigger swing, but, do what you got to do, I guess. Amon-Ra is going to get clamped by Jair Alexander tonight. Jalen Waddle is probably actually in a great spot against Buffalo. On Senior side of things, Justin Jefferson, man, what a smash spot. Carolina, he's going to dominate that defense. Mark Andrews, tough sledding against Cleveland. My bold prediction here, though, is I actually think Ramondre Stevenson is a really tough matchup for the Dallas Cowboys. They struggle against the zone run. Ramondre is a zone run machine. I think Ramondre Stevenson over 100 yards and a touchdown, even against a very tough Dallas defense. En route to Senior beating the brakes off of Steve. This one's not even going to be close. Steve's going to get clobbered. There you go. Now, we got my matchup, which is myself versus Jared. So, Run the Hills is an apt team name for Jared because his team's going to be running from the hills here after I beat his ass this week. This is going to be a vicious, brutal beating, just starting tonight with Jahmyr Gibbs in his breakout welcome to the NFL performance. And I'm just going to go ahead and bold prediction this. Jahmyr Gibbs, RB1 overall this week. RB1 overall. The RB2 overall is going to be Josh Jacobs, who is going to destroy the Chargers defense, as he always does. I'm looking at this, not really concerned about Debo. Think he's going to suit up. I think Justin Herbert is going to light up the Las Vegas Raiders. And, really just have to thank all of you for passing on Justin Herbert for bags of shit like Justin Fields and Joe Burrow. I mean, I really appreciate you guys. Jared, I know, appreciates you guys too, because he got Tua Tagovailoa, who is also way better than those guys. Dameon Pierce, yuck. Against Pitt, maybe he can do something against Pitt. Tough matchup. Don't love it. Aaron Jones on a pitch count against Detroit. Man, you're counting on a long touchdown. And, of course, if he gets a long touchdown, he's going to pull his hammy. So, kind of a no-win scenario there. Either he sucks or he gets hurt. That's how that's going to go. So, yeah, you guys know it already. I'm going to win. This one's not going to be close. Jared's going to get clobbered. It is what it is. Now, to the matchup of the week and potential GD Bowl preview. Jason versus Tony. And I'm looking at Jason, and I don't know how you have the gall to put Joe Burrow in your lineup as if you didn't just trade for Lamar Jackson. I know Lamar has a tough matchup. I know Burrow has an easy matchup. But let's just look at this, shall we? Joe Burrow has 19 fantasy points on the season. Lamar has topped that number in 2 out of 3 games, including the last 2 straight. Joe Burrow belongs in the free agent pool at this point. He's a terrible QB. He's been exposed. He obviously can't win the big one. At this point, the Bengals should just move on, but they're an inept, terribly run franchise, so they won't. And you're going to be stuck with just a terrible statue of a quarterback. What you basically have is bargain store Drew Bledsoe. Now, I look at Michael Thomas. He's cuttable. Zach Moss is going to be useless in a minute here. London game for Ridley, who sucks, and ETN, who, those London games are tough. ETN's good, but the rest of your team is not. Absolutely atrocious dumpster fire of a team. And you can't blame it on not having a first round pick, because basically all of us that didn't draft McCaffrey didn't have a first round pick. So, just poor management all around. I look at Tony's team and I just think, man, it's not that bad considering he lost his RB1 and RB2. I think Tyler Lockett has a huge game Monday night. I still don't like Geno Smith, though. I just think Tyler Lockett connects on 2 bomb touchdowns. Geno doesn't do much else. Zay Flowers, tough matchup. He's going to get clamped by Denzel Ward. Puka Nacua at Indy. Bold prediction. Puka Nacua gets his first NFL touchdown against the Colts. Jake Ferguson, man, they're trying to make him a thing. He just seems to be very, very bad. He's getting the targets, but man, he sucks. So who's going to win the potential GD Bowl preview? It's not going to be Jason. Tony Jr. wins, because Jason never wins. He's got a bad team and an even worse manager managing it. I mean, he's like the real life Bengals. He's never won anything, yet he's still chirping. I don't understand, but I respect that. That's all well and good. But do yourself a favor, get rid of Joe Burrow. Just because the Bengals are dumb and want to hang on to him doesn't mean you have to. There you go. There's your matchup preview, and I will see you guys next week. Bengals suck.